A year ago, you had 2 NFL tight ends. You were coaching out there. This year, you don't have either one out there. What's practice? What's practice difference in practice?
I don't think there's a difference in how we approach things. I think with those guys, it's a young room, but what's fun about it is you just see improvement every day, Whereas when you had a guy like Tegan and even Luke this year, it was minute little things with him, like, hey, focus on this, seeing this coverage, whatever it may be. With these guys, it's like, hey, you learn and you get better every single day, and it's pretty awesome to see that step on top.
You coached Tegan from the get-go, saw him develop throughout. How did that help you develop these guys? This is really your first. It's really your first coaching job as a tight end.
Yeah, no, I think what it taught me, with any young guys, what it teaches you is you can't just assume. Like, these guys are 18, 19, 20, and as much as you're in there watching film as a coach, like, it's just they're not watching as much. So you don't skip steps, you don't skip the process, you stick to the process and you trust it. And it might be painful at getting every little detail right, but that pays out down the road. So
do you see any of that Tegan development or Luke development in a couple of these guys?
Well, I think everybody's a little bit different for sure in terms. I think where those guys, that group right now that we have, they came in with maybe some better things than Luke and Tegan, and Luke and Tegan came in with some better things maybe than them, and it's just finding the right fit, finding the right spot. It's not always plug and play with them. Sometimes it's, hey, you know what, this guy might be better at this, let's do it this way. And finding different ways to get, guys in the right spot.
Obviously, Jack Belling's given you a lift in the receiving game. What did you see from when you recruited him? What did you think you were getting?
Just a tough kid. One of the first plays that ever stood out to me with him. He's athletic. He's got that. He's a hooper. You can see it. It's in his DNA a little bit. But he was going against a really highly recruited DN who's at Ohio State now and in high school, and was able to get after that guy in the run game. That's kind of what gave me that. I think this guy's got the whole package.
When Luke went down, what went through your mind in terms of I can turn to Jack and see what I got there?
Well, I think what it was really is we had kind of injuries really throughout camp, going back to that. So guys were able to step up and get some playing time and get some practice time. And with Jack, you just kind of saw him, again, freshman every day was like a huge step for him. And it was awesome to see. And then being able to put him in that role along with using Coletto, along with using Oberman, it's one where we can kind of ease him in early. And then, as the weeks have gone on, he's got more and more and more.
With kind of been that way with the games too. That's where he was the first game and he was jumping and freshman stuff.
No doubt.
And now he's a guy that's your leading receiver.
His first true game starting was against the USC Trojans. That's not always easy, but we're not going to put a guy out there unless he's ready and we trust him.
With the tight ends you have out there, how are you feeling about their production and consistency and effort?
Well, to me, the first things first is we're trying to get out there and help the team win, so that's what's most important in that room. The production will come, and I always tell these guys, the better we do in the run game, the more that production is going to come open for us. And they've done that, and they're continuing to get better at it. So it's been good to see, obviously, with what we were getting last week, loading the box, it was good to see that for the run game and being able to take advantage. Colorado, much the same. They're a big, stout group, man. We got to come ready to get that run game going.
How do you feel like Jake has progressed this season?
The nice thing about Jake is being the veteran of the group, which is wild to think. You can kind of just talk to him and he gets it pretty quick, So, hey, we're getting this look. Hey, try this with it. And he's pretty easy to correct and change or do something different. To where you trust him. He knows his stuff inside and out. He studies his butt off when it comes to the film, so it's fun to be able to put him in different spots.
How about the progress of JT and Gabe? How are they they haven't played as much.
Right. You know what? Gabe got banged up early on, right after camp. It was a bummer because he had a heck of a camp. You've seen Bryce Caulfield come on a little bit, who was out all of camp with the hamstring, but he's been back rolling, playing, at a high level, trying to knock some of that rust off. And then JT with him, it's, hey man, you're a big old 6'5", 250 guy. Keep working the physical part of the run game because that's where his big efforts are going to be for us. But it's good you got some depth there. You can get those guys some legs.
What does Jack look like in a couple of years? Right now he's 6'5", 225. He hasn't really spent much time in the college weight room. But is he going to be kind of a leaner type tight end, or is he 250, 255?
You know what? I think his frame, he's able to hold pretty good. He's already jumped up to 235, if not 240. I think he can stack it in different parts of his body. And with tight ends, I always tell them, it's not a 2 weeks, let's put on 20 pounds. It's a, hey, 5 months. Like it's a whole process, as we always talk. So, sky's really limited what that kick can look like. I think he can look what you want to see and what you see on some Sundays with some guys. But it's all about the process and how we text.
You've thrown an 85 jersey on a couple of offensive linemen, Tommy and then Tyler Morano, I think, too. I mean, that's not something you did in the last few years. That just out of necessity in your heavy packages, or?
I think so. We did it in 2020 with Jalen Bush. And this year, Tommy moving to tackle, he's a tight end. But Tommy moving to tackle, we knew that would be a possible package with him. And I think truly him moving to tackles helped him so much in the run game that we really trust him. He knows it at the wide position. He's learned it before in the past 2-3 years. It really gives us some size, whereas Teagan was kind of that guy last year. Didn't really maybe need a big guy. We trusted him a lot with it. And Tommy gives us that chance to give him a different position group they got to practice with.
Did you give up Tommy originally?
It was
negotiation.
Whatever's good for the team. No, I was happy for him. I thought it was going to be a good move for him.
You mentioned the run game. How's the team feeling about what it's gotten, running the ball to this point in the season?
I think there's always room for improvement. I think they know that. I think we feel pretty good about the different packages we can give teams, but we got to go execute, and I think we could even execute better than we did last Saturday. But to me, it's always growing. Same with the run game, same with the play action stuff, same with the drop back stuff. We got to find ways to get better in all entities.
So you guys are 5-2, won a couple in a row. Has the big picture changed at all for you, or you feel like everything's still the same as it was going into the season?
Same as it was going into the season. We take it week by week. It's Colorado week, focus on Colorado. What's happened in the past, wins and losses are wins and losses, but no, it's the same big picture. Got to win this game, and then got to take a breath off the next week, and then it's on to the next.
What is the big picture for you guys?
I think it's reaching our maximum potential. I know that's cliche to say, but I think that everybody on this team, everyone's around this team, knows what we're capable of, and I don't think we've played a game yet where we've really shown that. And so I think for us, it's really about getting a whole game put together right now. Just offensively, defensively, special teams, really showing the world what we know we're capable of doing, but we've been yet to do.
The run game is really starting to perk up for you guys. Is there something that is a line you're really in sync right now? What do you see?
I got to give props to Coach Lindgren, calling those plays for us, giving us the chance to go out there and just mash people down. But I think really for us, it's just these past couple weeks, really just trying to emphasize just mashing, just moving dudes, getting a little more physical up front. I think at the beginning of the season, we were trying to run the ball, but I don't think as far as up front, us five were doing a good enough job at mashing, and then transitioning to the pass. I think we were kind of playing two in the middle. I think over the past couple of weeks, we've kind of really just trying to focus on just getting physical and moving guys. And then when it's time to pass, take a deep breath and transition to the passing game. But I really think over the past few weeks, it's just been really focused on being physical.
Is that what you guys are really? Just a physical run team that's going to grind out wins?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what up front. That's how we would describe ourselves. I think that's what we want to be. I think that's what we show up every day and work to try to be. Obviously, each week you got to prove that, and every team's going to go out there and test you on that and see if you really are what you say you are. But yeah, I think up front that's really what we pride ourselves in being, is just being a physical group, going up there and mashing guys.
Where are things at with pass protection? It hasn't been great.
Yep. No, we got a lot of things to clean up. Offensive line, running backs, all of it. We got to communicate better. We got our techniques got to get better. We got things to clean up. Those are things that we're sitting in film. We're watching. Everyone's aware of it. It's not like a secret. I don't think anybody is gonna sit there and tell you no. Like, we're great pass blockers. We got some things we got to clean up. I think we got the guys. We got the talent. We have the physical capability in the room to pass block anybody. And to defend our quarterback for forever and a day. But it's just about getting up there, communicating. There's a lot of moving pieces in pass protection. It's not as simple as you got that guy, I got this guy. Sometimes it is, and it's great when it is. But there's a lot of moving pieces. You got to communicate with the backs. Sometimes we're working with the tight ends. The quarterback might change the protection. So there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of variables. So it's just getting that communication piece really solidified, cleaned up. I think that'll clear up a lot of our issues we've had in the past. And yeah.
Are you surprised at all a little bit, just because you've got kind of a veteran offensive line that's taken a while to get the pass protection going?
I wouldn't say surprised. Like I said, there's a lot of variables. I wish that it was as simple as it looks, and sometimes, honestly, it is that simple. But other times, there's a lot that goes on and a lot into it. That is no excuse whatsoever. We should be able to execute. We should be able to communicate those things. But I wouldn't say I'm surprised that it's taken this long. I would say I'm a little more disappointed that we haven't got it cleaned up earlier. But I have belief in the group, not only in the O-line, but in the running back room, the tight end room, and the quarterback room, that we're going to get it straight. That's one thing I know about this team, is when there's an issue, everybody's all hands on deck and getting it straight. And yeah, that's just been the focus right now, is getting the communication cleaned up and just continue working that technique.
You're a veteran guy, but now you've had thousands of reps, whether it's practice or games. I mean, individually, what sort of things are you working on?
Yeah, so for me, it's every day it's the fundamentals. In a lot of ways, it's the same stuff you were kind of working on when you first get here as a freshman. When I first got here, Coach M kind of broke down what the base fundamentals were as an offensive lineman. We always talk about having our feet apart, our butt down, our hands pressing chest up. We actually have a sign of that in the O-line room. But when you first get here, those are kind of the fundamentals that Coach M ingrains you, the things you start working. And as you get older, that doesn't really change. You look at a lot of guys in the NFL, you watch them, you watch how they practice. A lot of what they're practicing is those base fundamentals that the freshmen are practicing. So for me, it's just about working those base fundamentals. Obviously, watching film, seeing what I can clean up. There's always something that can be better. I'll never be perfect. I'll never be anywhere close to perfect, but I try every day to strive for that and to continue to improve. And really the biggest place you can improve is those base fundamentals.
And you talked about the run game there. How close as an O-line unit are you guys to where you want to be as far as your blocking schemes and such in the run game?
I think we're close. I think that's the most frustrating part when you start watching film, is it's just we're right there. Each play you watch, it's like, this could have been a 60-yard touchdown. This could have been a 60-yard touchdown. It's just, you're right here, you're right here, you're right here. It's relieving to know there's no massive flaws as far as up front. I think we have a solid group of guys. We've got a group of guys that love to work, a group of guys that know what they're doing, and they go out there and they play hard. We all put our full hearts into this. So you turn on the film and it's little things. It's those fine details. It's those base fundamentals like I'm talking about. And so I think we're close. I think we're really close. I think we're right there. But it's about consistency, and it's about executing on a consistent basis. Because I think we've seen flashes where we've been able to do it one or two plays, and you get those big explosive plays. But I think back to last year when we were kind of moving the ball on the ground a lot more, and I think the really thing that separated us was the consistency in which we were doing it. So really it's just about being more consistent, moving forward, and continue to execute in those critical situations.
You could have left last season to try the NFL. Came back for a couple of reasons. In what way has it been worth it to come back?
In every way, in every single way. I have zero, I mean zero, maybe like negative 102% regrets. This was the best choice I could have made for myself. I am beyond grateful and beyond glad to be a part of this program. Yeah, I mean, when I came for my first 5 years, or my first 4 years, it was really about getting the opportunity to be in a situation like we're in right now as a team. And going forward, I really hope that the sky's the limits for us. I'm so grateful to be a part of it. And honestly, I'm grateful to continue to work on my game because I think there's a lot of things that I can improve on before I take that next step.
5-2. Big picture change at all for you guys?
No, we know the season's a long one. Still got a couple more games ahead of us. So just week by week, put it together and improve every week.
What do you feel like is the big picture for you guys?
Just winning games, honestly. We coming into the season, we was hoping to play for a Pac-12 title. Season's not over. It's not December yet, so that's still the goal. At the end of the day, anything can happen. But it's just winning week in and week out, 1-0 each week, and that's really the big goal for us.
The touchdown play, it was a little bit messy, wasn't it? There's a lot of guys in that area. What happened there, and how did that play come about?
Just a little naked, little play action pass. Some stuff broke down at the end. He had some pressure in his face. He had to let go. We all weren't supposed to be in the same area, but ended up coming down, making a play out of it. So
when the ball went in the air, did you know it was for you, or because there were like
honestly,
a couple
no,
receivers in the air?
I saw it in the air. I was like, I got the best chance of getting it, so I'm gonna get it.
you got right up and got in the guy's face. I mean, that must have been some heat going on there.
It's football at the end of the day. It's all fun.
We talked with Coach Henson last week about blocking as far as the receivers go, and he seemed like he was pretty pleased. How are you feeling about your unit and the blocking you guys are doing in the run game?
I feel like we've been doing our job. There's some stuff to clean up like every week, but I feel like overall we've been doing our job. You don't see the rock unless you can block for your teammates. So that's one thing we harp ourselves on is being good in the run game, and just being complete receivers. So I feel like we've been pretty good so far.
How about you individually? Do you feel like, how long has that kind of been a part of your game, knowing that, that's kind of what keeps you on the field?
It's everything. If you, like I just said, if you don't block, probably not going to see the rock. So that's pretty the main thing in our offense. We're a run-heavy team, so you got to be able to block. So I feel like I've been doing my job pretty well. There's more stuff to clean up, obviously, but I feel like we've been pretty good about that.
What is the difference between catching a ball from Chance and Ben? They throwing anything different on their balls?
Nah, not really. I wouldn't say so. Just got to catch the football.
Are there differences in quarterbacks?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Some guys throw it harder.
Oh yeah, some guys will. Doesn't matter what the route, they're gonna throw it 100 miles an hour. Some guys have some touch on it. But yeah, there really isn't too much of a difference.
Is there anything else that's a little bit different between the two of them from your standpoint as a receiver? Do they do anything a little different that you have to adjust to? Or?
No, I wouldn't say so. Those guys have been here for a while. I've been here for a while. We don't really got any new guys, so we've taken enough reps with them that everything is second nature.
Brandon just said you guys have yet to play a complete game. Is that something that you agree with, and what do you think a complete game would look like for this offense specifically?
I would say just limiting MAs and just stop shooting ourselves in the foot. There are a couple times out there, just one guy messing up the play and it ruins the whole play. So just everyone being technique sound, doing their job, and that's what I would say is helps put together a complete game.